Hey everybody, it's RJ here, bringing my video on the Elektrition. It's a Magicka sorc that can be used for PvP and PvE. And let's start things out with the boring part. Let's go to the champion points. Got 100 in an elemental expert, because, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then so far 77 into spell erosion, because spell penetration super important with this build. Thaumaturge, starting to buff that up a little bit too, because it does damage over time effects. Then I got 80 into light armor focus because I'm primarily wearing light armor on this. Then 98 into elemental defender because in PvP and in PvE you're going to be taking a lot of these damage. Bastion for damage shields. Don't run very many of them, but it helps with Bound Aegis. 21 into Siphoner. Really good for PvP. 100 into Arcanist because magic recovery, probably by far the most important thing. Health recovery, I took a little bit more into health recovery because I am a vampire on this. Tenacity, you get your magic back with fully charged heavy attacks. And that is it for the champion points. Then I'm going to jump right into the gear. I am running Staff of Crushing. Then I'm running 2 Swords of Torgue's Pact because it gives me added spell damage. And both of them have sharpened on it to increase spell penetration. Then for the helm, I am running Valkynscoria because this is primarily an AoE build. And I do a lot of damage with this. It's stupid how much damage I do with this. I'm running the head and shoulders of Valkynscoria. Then I am running 5-piece Julianos. A lot of them Nirnhoned. Then I'm running a necklace, ring, and ring of willpower. For the rings of willpower, it's better to get the one with the Arcanist trait or arcane trait because it will give you more magic instead of health. These are just what I found and got while I was in the sewers. Let's start out with my main bar, which is my staff bar. I'm running Liquid Lightning, does shock damage, it's a damage over time. I'm running Blockade of Storms, another damage over time. And it confuses them and sets them off balance for 4 seconds, which is really good because if you cast this and Liquid Lightning, hit them with a couple of Force Pulses, it'll proc your Crystal Fragments. I am running Bound Aegis because I protect myself, increasing my physical and spell resistance, and increases my max Magicka by 8%. I actually run this on both bars, so when I bar swap over to do my other ultimate or my self-heal, I don't lose my magic bonus. Force Pulse. This, I've actually seen it proc my damage over time effect with Valkynscoria. Crystal Fragments. You gotta have Crystal Frags if you're taking any sort of Crystal Shard because you have the chance of casting the Instafrag. And then I'm using the Thunderstorm, which is a huge dot. Really good for taking on mobs in PvE. Haven't really found it quite useful in PvP yet. I haven't quite worked out all the details that I need for it. But when it comes to PvP, I usually just take Meteor, or I'll take Energy Overload. And depending on what's going on, I'll even switch to Absorption Field for a little bit of heals and negate magic and what have you. For the second bar, this is my backup bar when I'm completely out of magic. I don't have the time to do anything. I will switch over to this, which is Dark Conversion. The Templar goes down, you can keep yourself healed for a little bit. It'll also give you magic. Then Power Surge. Gain major sorcery, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 20% for 33 seconds, which is super important. While active, dealing a critical strike heals you for 2,550 health. I do a lot of criticals with this build. Bound Aegis, like I said, I have it in the same place on both bars, so I don't screw things up. Then my Execution, which is Mage's Wrath. It sends out the explosion, dealing a bunch of damage, and then insta-frags. This way I don't lose the proc if I switch over to this bar. Then Ice Comet, which also will proc Valkynscoria. It's a damage over time. It's like a semi-truck on steroids. It's amazing. I am a Dark Elf, so I do get added like bonuses to all my magic and everything like that. Like I get increased flame damage, frost damage, and shock damage. Increase max magic. Increase max magic. I definitely recommend for a sorcerer either being a high elf or a dark elf, depending on what you're going to do. If you're going to do like a lot of shock and AoE damage, or like fire AoE damage, definitely dark elf's the way to go. If you're going to do just straight up single target damage, you're going to want to go high elf. For the PvP setup that I take, I switch my head to either Nirnith, which will do single target damage, or Molokina. Molokina is really good. I don't like it as much as I should, but I also don't use it as much as I should either. Nirnith I found is the best way to go for me. For my body, I'll take Vicious Death because when you kill a player, they explode for 19,294 flame damage. That does get bumped up because I am a dark elf, and I have a lot into magic. I'll take 5-piece Vicious Death and 2-piece Nirnith or Molokina, depending on what's going on, what I'm doing. If I'm taking a keep, I'll more than likely take Nirnith for the little bit of dot damage. If I'm 1vxing, I'll take Molokina. Things don't really switch over too much on the skills bar, except for I maybe take like Daedric Mines and Encase. I haven't morphed Encase yet, but I'll take those to keep them in place and then beat the crap out of them with shards and everything. Primarily a light armor build. I do have the capabilities of taking a lot of damage shields. I don't like them ever since they got nerfed way back in the day. Mage's Guild, extremely important to get this maxed out. Like I said in the beginning, I am a vampire. I constantly stay at stage 4 for the added Magicka. Let's see what kind of damage this thing can do. First thing you want to do is you want to throw down your elemental blockade. I was soloing dungeons with this the other day. Find something else to kill. I think that person ganked everything. Come on, I just need something to kill. As you can see just from me running a little bit, this is definitely not a stamina build. There we go. There's a few of them. Valken Scoria. Instafrag. Scoria. Basically, you just lay down all of your AoEs and you hit them with Force Pulse, and Scoria should take care of everything else. This is RJR. Have a good day.